Today, Sports World travels to the heart of basketball country, Charlotte, North Carolina, where the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team continues its preparations for Seoul by meeting a stellar group of NBA stars, featuring the explosive slams of All-NBA forward Charles Barkley, who led all scorers with 14 points in a similar game Friday. Running the NBA attack will be Rookie of the Year Mark Jackson of the Knicks, whose dazzling passes placed him among the league's assist leaders. And then there is former Olympic performer Michael Jordan, the world's greatest one-on-one player, who led the NBA with an average of 35 points a game en route to being named Most Valuable Player. The Olympic Games are now just 5 weeks away, and U.S. coach John Thompson is still searching for the right combination. He does have talent, like versatile College Player of the Year Danny Manning, who led Kansas to the national title before being selected #1 in the NBA draft. And center David Robinson, 1987 Player of the Year, now a naval officer and trying to sweep away the cobwebs remaining from a year away from the game. So far, outside shooting has been a problem for this team, except for Hersey Hawkins from Bradley, who led the nation in scoring last season at over 36 points a game. The surprise of the Olympic trials has been Dan Majerle of Central Michigan, who initiates this steal and then finishes it off. The Olympians will need that kind of play today as they meet a talented group of NBA stars. From the brand new Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, a crowd of some 20,000 on hand for one of the events of the Carolinas Invitational, as the U.S. Olympic men's basketball team takes on a group of select NBA All-Stars. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Charlotte. Tom Hammond along with Al McGuire, ready to bring you Game 3 in an 8-game series between this Olympic team and a team of NBA All-Stars. The U.S. team has won the first 2 meetings, including an 81-80 decision here on Friday night against a slightly different team of NBA stars. Al, just a little over a month now from the beginning of the Olympic Games, and John Thompson, the U.S. coach, has until September 2nd to trim 4 players from this team. What will he be looking to accomplish in today's game?
First thing, Tom, John knows 10 of the players right now that he's going to keep. He's not telling anybody. You can't figure John Thompson out. Don't try to figure him out. The big decision now, what 2 does he keep of the back 6? And it's going to get down to fine-tuning. Might be a guy that can shoot a foul shot in a pressure situation. It might be a guy that can go from offense to defense quickly. Or it might be a guy, God forbid, that has to fill in for Manning or Robinson if they go down over in Seoul.
What do you see as the strengths and weaknesses as this team begins to develop?
Our strengths, obviously, that we're the best athletes in the world, that basketball is our game. We should have the gold if we don't fall asleep. Our weakness is we haven't got to the point of who is going to play point guard. Now, on the baseline, our spacing isn't right. We got too many big guys down there that are bumping into each other, whether it's Robinson, Manning, Mourning, and so on and so forth.
Do you see one key player to winning the gold in Seoul?
Well, the leader of this club should be David Robinson. He's mature. He's a beautiful person. I think every mother in the country would like to have him as a son. So, but the leader and winning the gold normally depends on who is the point guard, because the point guard is truly the coach on the court.
All right, well, there are considerable differences between college and pro rules and international rules. And in just a moment, Al McGuire will be back to review the rule changes for you. We're back at the Charlotte Coliseum. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today. And is this a dream lineup or what? The NBA All-Stars will go with Charles Barkley of the 76ers and Alex English of the Denver Nuggets, Alton Lister of Seattle in the middle, and a backcourt of Michael Jordan and Mark Jackson. And for the Olympic team, starting lineup will go like this, and John Thompson has been varying that starting lineup. Danny Manning and Willie Anderson will start at the forwards. Anderson out of Georgia, very versatile. He can play guard or forward. Manning, you know about his versatility. David Robinson will be the starting center. And in the backcourt, Vernell Coles and Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins really has been the only consistent outside shooter on this team so far. And in the middle, Robinson has been in foul trouble the first 2 games, picking up 4 fouls in each of the first 2 games, but his numbers are still good. He is the co-leading scorer with Dan Majerle, averaging 9 a game, and the leading rebounder at 8 a game.
Hawkins will play off Coles. They're still looking for that point guard. Hawkins is definitely a number 2 guard. He's the guy that can fill it up. He averaged 36 points a game this year in the NCAA, led the nation.
So Robinson looking to stay out of foul trouble in this game. They will allow them 6 fouls. International rules only permit 5, but 6, the NBA rule in today's game. Alton Lister and David Robinson set to jump to get the game underway from the Charlotte Coliseum. The NBA stars have beaten the Olympians only once, and this series began back in 1980. Robinson to Manning. Couldn't get it. Barkley with a rebound for the NBA stars. Man-to-man defense beginning for the USA team. Michael Jordan.
Watch the USA team be more aggressive defensively.
Michael Jordan wastes no time. He had a tremendous ovation as he came out just in the middle of the player introductions today. He'd been on the golf course.
He takes his golf serious.
NBA with the first basket of the game. 20-minute halves in international play. Manning. Coles. And the U.S. is on the board with Bimbo Coles, will be a junior at Virginia Tech and has averaged 8 a game in the first 2. We're tied up at 2 apiece.
Tom, look for the NBA All-Stars to play the whole 14, 15 players in the first half. Then in the second half, they'll go to win the ball game.
They really want to win the game. Billy Cunningham and Jeff Mullins, the co-coaches, and at practice yesterday, they said, well, do you want us to substitute and keep everybody fresh? And they said, well, the first half, yes, but in the second half, let's put the best 5 on the floor and try to win the game. There's Billy Cunningham. 2-2 tie as the USA team looks for its first lead. Robinson from outside. Tapped in by Manning. Danny Manning, it was only 2 for 8 in the game here Friday. Puts the Olympic team on top. Robinson with a steal. Here's a 3-on-1 break. Manning, Robinson. He's fouled by Jackson. First team foul on the NBA team. In international rules, you shoot 1 and a bonus on the 8th foul of the half.
On that fast break, one guy was 7'1", Robinson. The other guy, Manning, was 6'10".
20 years ago, that would be unheard of, wouldn't it? To have guys that big running the floor on a fast break.
Well, Manning here has really guard skills. He can pass. He can. Matter of fact, if he has a fault, is that he's unselfish.
David Robinson looking for his first point of the game off the front of the rim and through. In the first 2 games, he's only hit on 44% of his free throw attempts. Had a great career at the Naval Academy. Misses the second shot. So the U.S. leads by 3 at 5-2.
Coles is using a lot of hands on Jackson.
Shot by Alex English. English with his first 2 makes it a 1-point lead. Willie Anderson playing the point there, the 6'7" player, graduate of the University of Georgia. He's open for the jumper. Good block out by English, who gets the quick outlet in front court to Jackson. Here goes Jordan.
Hawkins, that's too tough yet. That'll take a number of years. If Hawkins has a minus area, it's in his defense. There's no minuses in his offense.
They need his offense, too, don't they? He's been the consistent scorer for this team, especially from the outside. Good defense that time. Knocked away by Hawkins, and here comes Coles. Lister made a swipe at it, and Jackson has the rebound for Barkley. And Barkley fouled by David Robinson. That's the first Olympic foul of the game.
Robinson is foul prone. Seems to pick up early fouls, and one of the reasons why we lost to the Brazil team is that he was in foul trouble. Barkley tried to re-clutch in the air then, and I don't think his body's warmed up properly yet. The game is another 5 minutes into the game, he'd be able to re-clutch then.
Takes a while to warm up that body. There you see what David Robinson has done, and as we said, his playing time has been slight, but his numbers are good, and you have to figure a little rusty and probably will get better the more he plays.
Well, they're all learning Coach Thompson's system. The only upperclassman would be the Charles Smith IV. The other 15 guys out there are just learning Georgetown's system.
Barkley's 2 free throws put the NBA up 6-5. Barkley comes off a 14-point performance here Friday night. That was the top point performance in the game for either team. Hawkins can't get his shot away. Here's Coles on the point now. Anderson guarded by English.
Hawkins is free.
Coles just inside the three-point line. Anderson got the rebound and dished it to Robinson for the slam. 3 points for David Robinson. U.S. team back in front.
Here's the inside position, an automatic dunk. Once a guy 7'1" gets the ball inside, that's all she wrote.
Quick hands by Hawkins to knock it away from Barkley. Here's Anderson in front court. Oh, Lister batted it away, and here's Barkley 1-on-3.
He's warmed up now.
Foul on David Robinson, and as we said, foul prone. That's his second foul with 16:38 left in the first half.
Yeah, we will lead. Oh, here we go again. He goes up. And there's the block by Allen Lister. Now, here we're going down the other end. Here goes the tank. Everybody gently steps out of the way.
So the pattern repeats itself. Robinson again in early foul trouble. Barkley at the free throw line where he hit 2 a moment ago. That one no good.
Look at the size of the trunks on Barkley. They look like tents, or they look like a circus tent.
It's like a boxer's trunks, too. They're real long and take some material to cover up Charles Barkley from head to toe. He has 3 all at the free throw line. The NBA is tied at 7. Hawkins guarded by Jordan, the best defensive player in the NBA by a vote of his peers. Coles, nice fake. Can't hit the shot. Knocked away from Robinson, and Jordan has it for the NBA. Lister. That's going to be a foul on Danny Manning. First foul on Manning, number 3 on the Olympic team. And David Robinson will go to the bench after picking up 2 quick fouls. And he is replaced by J.R. Reed. Reed, 6'9" junior.
J.R. Reed is one of our few physical players out there, so-called sumo wrestler.
On the break, Hawkins reverses and gets it. Hersey Hawkins with his first bucket. It's 9-7 U.S. English cut off at the baseline. Almost another steal. Barkley in traffic, fouled once again.
Hersey makes a quick move in there, comes in the back door. There's no doubt about it that he's no fluke, and he's going to have a long, long career in the NBA. I think, Tom, that he went about 5th in the draft this year.
Substitution USA number 9.
Hersey Hawkins out of Bradley, first-round pick by the Clippers, who then sent him to the Philadelphia 76ers, and right on the money, number 6 player taken in the draft. John Lucas is in for the NBA Stars, and so is Chris Mullen. There's Charles Barkley in those double-wide shorts. He's had a career at the free throw line here in the first 4.5 minutes of play.
You could clothe a family with those shorts. I hope he doesn't hear me.
I hope he doesn't either. Because if he tries to get you, the chances are good he'll wipe out several of us.
Well, in our last Olympics, going to L.A., he did not make it.
We've got a timeout. Charles Barkley at the free throw line, keeping the NBA in the game. We're tied. Al, usually these all-star teams are sort of hit-and-miss affairs, but look at Billy Cunningham putting this team through its paces in the pregame warm-ups.
He brought them out here early, and they're setting up what we call a 2-3 high offense with the foul line extended. They want to win. I think if the Olympic team is going to lose any of these 8 games, will be this one here. One of the reasons that Billy Cunningham takes every game serious, especially if you keep the score. That means you're supposed to win. In addition to that, they got 14 NBA players over there, so you can keep the troops fresh.
NBA 2 of 3, as we said, Barkley at the free throw line has been the big force for them. The Olympic team continues to shoot poorly. hitting only 40% coming into this game after their first 2 contests.
And they just went to a 2-3 zone, which I'm pleased they're starting to do this, because all we're going to face over in Seoul is zones, especially against the heavyweights.
Coles after the fake. Mullen got a piece of it and comes down with a rebound. Hawkins intercepts the pass intended for Perkins, and the Olympic team goes the other way. Coles. Mullen commits the foul. Chris Mullen, who was a member of the gold medal winning 1984 U.S. Olympic team, with his first foul and the second against the NBA team.
You know, this Coles guy that's on the foul line now, one of the reasons he's on this team, that John Thompson was so impressed last year when his Georgetown team played against Virginia Tech. So you never know when someone's watching.
Coles hits the free throw. That's his 3rd point, but he's hit only 1 of 4 from the field today for John Thompson's squad. Coles had an average of 24 points and 6 assists a game to lead the Metro Conference last year. Misses the 2nd free throw. Coming up to his junior year at Virginia Tech. 10-9 Olympic team. Sam Perkins. Anderson with a rebound. And the U.S. team on the break.
It's not there. Back it up. Here's one of the problems with the Olympians. They have to learn to have a half-court offense.
Charles Smith of Pittsburgh is in the game for the U.S. Olympic team. Had a real good game in the first meeting between the Olympic team and the NBA squad in Providence, and then didn't show up here Friday night.
Only 6 seconds on the clock. You got to put it up.
Smith does. Taps taken by Perkins. Lucas in front court for the NBA. Stolen. Anderson to Coles. He got it. Bimbo Coles with 5 points, and the Olympic team has its biggest lead. Mullen wide open. What happened there?
Breakdown in defense. What happened on the weak side of the court, they picked Hawkins off. Chris Mullen doesn't have all the foot speed in the world, so he shouldn't be able to shake the defensive man. You're going to see a lot of breakdowns because John's defense is complicated. It takes a long time to learn. It's a team defense, coast to coast.
Reed. He's fouled as he makes a move for the basket. I think Lister got it. They called it on Mullen. That'll be the 2nd foul on Mullen. And number 3 on the NBA.
Nice body control. I don't know where he got the nickname Bimbo. I would try to change that. Especially as he starts having children. You don't want to be Bimbo the 2nd and Bimbo the 3rd.
Well, he got the Bimbo nickname when he was 3 or 4 months old, and his uncle Billy Taylor came in, gave him that name just on the spur of the moment, and stuck with him all his life.
Well, I don't know how much of a friend that uncle is.
Danny Shays, Wayman Tisdale in for the NBA team as Reed hits the free throw. In for the Olympic team, Mitch Richmond out of Kansas State. Dan Majerle out of Central Michigan. Also in is Brian Shaw. Shaw out of California, Santa Barbara, was the hero of Friday night's game here. He made a steal with 26 seconds left, and his 3-point play was the margin of victory as the U.S. Olympic team had its only lead of the game at the final horn to win at 81-80.
He stole the ball off Sleepy Floyd. He comes from down here in Gastonia, North Carolina.
And played for John Thompson at Georgetown. After the block shot, Lucas brings it the other way. Mullen got away from Richmond. Can't hit the shot. Shays with the offensive rebound. Lucas.
Oh, high shot. Lucas just became a free agent. He signed with the Houston Rockets.
3-point shot on that one. Smith can't hit the reverse, and Shays rebounds. NBA with a 1-point lead and the basketball.
Charles Smith in Pittsburgh that time dropped his head. You can't drop your head and make a reverse shot.
Got almost 20,000 here in the Coliseum tonight, but pretty quiet at the moment. They haven't gotten warmed up, kind of like Charles Barkley.
Well, I think they missed their scoring board.
Perkins travels as he moves to the basket. That's the 7th turnover for the NBA, and the Olympic team has yet to turn it over. But the NBA leads by 1 as you see that turnover situation. Majerle in traffic. Shot bangs through for Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond with a 3-point basket. It's a 16-14 Olympic lead. I was talking about the fans missing their scoreboard. You probably heard about the accident where the scoreboard dropped here on Friday. We'll show you footage of that a little later. Marley in front court. Richmond will try it again. 2 for 2. 18-14. 4-point Olympic team lead. Lucas got the penetration and drew the foul. Charles Smith of Pittsburgh, I believe, got him. They called on J.R. Reed, and that'll be 2 on Reed. So the big men of the Olympic team in a bit of foul trouble. J.R. Reed has 2, and he replaced David Robinson, who picked up 2. There's Danny Manning back for the Olympic team as Smith went out. And also set to come in and making his first appearance will be Alonzo Mourning when we come back with the Olympic team in front. We mentioned the scoreboard here at the Charlotte Coliseum. This is just at the dedication ceremonies on Thursday night. And this is Friday morning. It weighs some 17 tons. It crashed from the ceiling all the way to the floor, wrecking the basketball floor that was in place here at this beautiful new facility. That's where the scoreboard was, up by the girders of the ceiling. It fell all the way down to this floor. Now, Friday night they were scheduled to play basketball here. We didn't think there was any way possible, but a tribute to the spirit of Charlotte, they cleaned up the wreckage, brought in the old floor from across town, and 10 hours after that crash, they were playing ball.
Scoreboard cost $3,100,000.
Here's a violation underneath by the Olympic team.
And the referee does not handle the ball on the backcourt.
That's the score. Lucas to Mullen.
And that should be good.
And it is. Chris Mullen with his 4th point. He's 2 for 2.
Pros go back to a 2-3 zone. Let's see how they attack it. Shore on the point. Marley will pump it from outside. He gets the chance. Get it around to Marley. Here it goes up. Let it go, son.
It's a 3-pointer.
Nope.
Lucas chases down the rebound. Shays in traffic.
Nice block. You know, got a piece of it that time. Mourning got a piece of it.
Richmond rolls it in against Mullen. Mitch Richmond has come off the bench to score 7 points. And it's a 20-16 lead. Approaching the 10-minute mark, the midway point of the first half. Mullen open again. This one no good, but Perkins off the offensive glass. Manning knocked it away. 3 on 2. Richmond. Mullen blocked off Marley to get the rebound. And he's got Lucas wide open. 5 points for Lucas.
Needs some subs in the NBA to start in the tire. Billy, spread them out. 2-3 zone again. John Thompson likes this. Gives him an opportunity.
Brian Shaw directs the traffic from the point. That point guard, all important, and Thompson's giving everyone a pretty good look. Manning, no good. Mullen with another rebound.
As I said earlier, the point guard is the coach on the court, so they've got to get a good one.
Manning has hit only 40% from the field coming into the game. There's a good reach in by Shaw to tie up Lucas. And they'll jump it up in international play.
Shaw's been an outstanding player at the University of California at Santa Barbara. You know their nickname?
Gauchos, aren't they?
Gauchos, he's right. Absolutely right. Got a good friend out there, Dr. Jim Murray. And that place is outstanding. A beautiful campus, Pacific Ocean. Coach did a super job. Jerry Pym got into the NCAA this year for the first time. Quick in and out, but he got him there. That's all that counts.
Here's the jump. Lucas controls it and smacks it back to Spud Webb, who's coming to the game. And so has Walter Davis for the NBA team.
Watch the tempo pick up with Spud Webb in there.
Marley all over it.
Watch out, Marley. They'll go by you. So long.
Shays got Spud Webb free with a pick, and the ball eventually knocked out of bounds by Shaw. That took care of that. also into the game for the NBA stars will be Muggsy Bogues. So it'll be Bogues and Webb in the backcourt.
This is the first in history. Please stay with us. There's Muggsy and Spud. There's Shay's moving up and taking care of Molly. Welcome to the NBA, Molly.
We'll take a break. It'll be the 5'7" Webb and the 5'3" Bogues when we're back as promised with that backcourt of Webb and Bogues. At 5'7" and 5'3". What's that average height?
Well, I say about 5'5". But you know, in basketball, like in life, you measure a person from their neck up.
The two spunky little guys, and let's see if they do pick up the tempo as Davis misses the shot.
They'll turn that ball over, too.
Bogues all over Brian Shaw. Here's Marley.
He's a freshman.
Morning. Slapped away from Morning by Wayman Tisdale. And Tisdale commits the foul. Here's a update on the lineups now. Davis, Tisdale, Shays, Bogues, and Webb for the NBA. And Manning, Marley, Morning, Lichty, and Shaw in the game for the Olympic team. Todd Lichty of Stanford makes his first appearance.
I picked this guy last year as ball player of the year. It was a close decision. A kid named Bill Owens out there is going to Syracuse. That's also an outstanding senior high school ball player.
Well, when John Thompson invited Alonzo Mourning, who will be a freshman this coming year at Georgetown, people thought it was just because he was going to be on his team, but I think he proved to everyone that he was not intimidated and he could play with these guys.
He's better than people thought, and he's not a luxury out there. He's a necessity.
Todd Lichty with a big offensive rebound for the Olympic team, leading by 3. See the time remaining in the first half.
International play, you play with a 30-second clock.
And the ball is going to go to the NBA team after a little discussion. Tisdale, he's a former Olympian. He draws the foul from Manning.
Hey, if we could show that over again. Wayman Tisdale come back and just bumped into Manning. Wayman Tisdale's like one of those 18-wheelers coming down Highway 32 someplace in the country. And there's just no stopping him if he gets the ball down on the blocks.
16 fouls against the Olympic team now. 2 on Manning, 2 on Reed, and 2 on Robinson. People underneath picking up the fouls. Tisdale from the Pacers with another shot.
What's Muggsy Bogues doing down there next to Manning? Look at Muggsy. Go get him, Muggsy. Move up there and turn him over. I remember the first time I had Muggsy Bogues. He was a sophomore at Wake Forest. I thought it was a throwaway game. And at that time, I said, after the game was over, Wake Forest beat North Carolina. I said, hey, there is a potential All-American. And I am not kidding. He annoys you. He drives you crazy. He plays your knees.
Lichty driving baseline to Marley. He got it. Good teamwork that time. Lichty penetrating along the baseline. Marley got the easy bucket. Spud Webb had it blocked. Manning comes down with it.
Round the horn.
Shaw. Shays, quick outlet. Here's Bogues.
Go turn him over, Muggsy. Good up on him. Get Molly and turn him. I know they're going to create turnovers.
To the hands of Shaw, and the NBA has it. Here's Muggsy again. He's going to be playing for the new Charlotte Hornets, so the crowd here warming up to him in a hurry.
These two guys would break up a high mass. Olympic team went to a 2-3 zone there.
Tisdale. Stolen away by Webb. He got it away from Manning and scores.
That's in-your-face basketball. Go get him, Spud. Talk about pickpockets. Wow.
The NBA by 1.
Set up. Morning down low.
Manning looks for him. And Manning dribbled it on the baseline. Another turnover for the Olympic team. Bogues penetrates and walk one step too many. Here's that quick inbounds now if Martin can get a hold of the basketball. Turnover situation, 9 for the NBA. And a minute ago, the Olympic team hadn't committed any, but with Webb and Bogues in the game, now up to 5.
Well, they got to get back to their tempo. They're in their tempo now.
Less than 7 minutes to play in the first half. The NBA leading 24-23.
One of John's problems is his half-court offense, what they're doing right now, trying to develop it.
Shaw operating down low, got the basket to go, and John Thompson with some instructions for Manning. Good move that time by Shaw, though. His first basket, and he'll try to make it a three-point play as Walter Davis picks up the foul.
Well, Shaw's ready for the NBA. He was really the 24th pick in the first round by the Boston Celtics. But after he made the basket, he'll watch. He'll point down. That means basket good and give me a foul. So he's already set to work the referees in the NBA.
Pacific Coast Athletic Conference Player of the Year last season. In fact, the first guard in that league to lead the league in rebounds and assists. Bimbo Coles and Willie Anderson are back in for the Olympic team. And the U.S. with a 26-24 lead on the NBA. Walter Davis. Manning cuts him off. Bogues, a pretty pass to Barkley, who's back in. Barkley one more time. Manning blocked it, but also got him on the arm. That'll be 3 on Danny Manning.
Forte, the referee, is trying to explain what the foul was. It was about 17 fouls on Barkley's body that time. Mr. Forte, there's one, there's another right there, and there's one on the other side.
Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. Charles Smith will replace Danny Manning for the Olympic team, as Manning becomes the first player in the game in serious foul trouble on the bench with 3. NBA winning the rebounding battle with the likes of Barkley in there, 17-9. Charles Barkley is 6 of 7 at the free throw line here in the first half with 6:13 remaining. First team All-NBA forward, 4th in the league in scoring, 5th in rebounding last year, led the league in rebounding in 87. Missed the second one, rebounded by Mourning. Anderson at 6'7" against Bogues at 5'3". Here's Coles now from the point. See the time under the 6-minute mark.
Post him up underneath there, Anderson. You got 2 points on Bogues.
There he is.
That's the way to listen to me. I could become John's assistant over there. Big fair, John.
First 2 for Anderson. Webb on the second try, no good. Lichty rebounds for the Olympians. Willie Anderson. Good save by Coles. Tapped a couple of times and finally rebounded by Barkley. Could be a pushing foul on Charles Barkley of the 76ers, the former Auburn All-American. Boy, in Friday night's game, Barkley was really bumping those Olympic players inside, giving them a taste of what they might expect in Seoul.
Well, you'll see more of that in the second half. The first half here is really kind of set up. Everyone's trying to play all their ball players. And in the second half of this game, I really believe they're going to go at each other. And from what I can see right now, it looks to me like maybe the NBA All-Stars could win it.
It would be only their second victory in this series, which dates back to 1980. Anderson tried to get it to Smith. Instead, it goes out of bounds. Michael Jordan back in for the NBA. We've got Bogues and Jordan in the backcourt now. Floyd is also in. Jordan for 3. Didn't take him long.
Got to move up on them. As you move up on Michael, he goes around you.
He's tied it at 28. 5th point of the game for Michael Jordan, whose parents live here in Charlotte and are at the game here today.
Well, his mom has opened up a sporting goods store called Flight 23.
Jordan off the pass from Floyd gets another 2. Good defense by the NBA that time. Barkley pushing Mourning, or pushing Smith, excuse me, for position is called for the foul. Second foul on Charles Barkley. Number 7 on the NBA team, so on the next foul, the Olympic team will shoot.
Both teams right now, Tom, are in a 1-on-1.
Richmond is wide open. Rebounded by Barkley. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. NBA with the ball leading 30-28. Jordan got another one, another 3. 10 points in the game for Michael Jordan, the former North Carolina All-American. That gets a rise out of the crowd. 33-28, biggest lead for the NBA team. Smith, top of the key. Rebounded by Lister. Tried to get Barkley, broken up by Smith and taken by Richmond. They got back very well, didn't they?
That's the trick, to convert from offense to defense. That takes a long time to learn. If one guy breaks down, it doesn't work. The whole team has to do it. Let's kick it down low to J.R. Reed this time. Spread it out. John's not happy. Calls a timeout. Ball players not allowed to call timeout in international play.
That's the first for the Olympic team. We'll be right back.
They're all three-point shots. The first circle there is the NCAA. The second is the international, about 9 inches behind, and the back one is the NBA. What we have to remember, if we're going to take on the Yugos, USSR, Spain, and Brazil, we must get out and play defense on the three-point shot. That's where we're better than we are. So Michael Jordan's not allowed to shoot that easier shot. John will be upset about that.
Michael Jordan reaching in has the personal foul, number 1 for Jordan, number 8 for the NBA. So we'll go to the free throw line now for 1+1. That three-point line, a piece of cake for Michael Jordan, who's used to the three-point arc in the NBA. And the NBA out shooting this U.S. team 50% to 37% so far, and shooting continues to be a problem for John Thompson's squad.
I think everything's a piece of cake for Mr. Michael there. His life is seashells and balloons. Whatever that means.
Coles at the free throw line, hits for the U.S.
Now watch how fast they come in. Once the ball leaves the hand of the foul shooter, watch how they move right in. It's legal in international play.
Also in international play, only 5 seconds to shoot the free throw. That could be a problem in Seoul.
It's going to be a big problem unless we start practicing. See, they're allowed to go in that early.
3 of 4 at the line for Coles, who has 7 points in the game. It's 33-30 NBA with 3.5 minutes left in the first half.
Good D on Richmond on Sleepy Floyd. Richmond's quickness would surprise you at the size of his body. So long.
Richmond reached in on Jordan and knocked it away. And a diving attempt made by Coles draws a hand from the fans.
That is what we call Hoya style. All right. A couple of hand fakes. They stripped him of the ball. Now watch it. Go, man. Bang. Good. Good try. I just love ball players that came up with bruises.
Missed shot for the NBA. Here's Willie Anderson in front court. Almost had his pocket picked by Floyd. Reed, jump hook that's so familiar to North Carolina fans, and kept in by Anderson. NBA wasting no time down court, and an Olympic foul.
And here's the white towel over there. The mark of John Thompson. Started. Here's the block. John wanted to call legal block. He was trying to get the ref's eye, but he got a couple of pieces up in that time. So Sleepy Floyd right up here from Gastonia, only about 10 miles. This is Mecklenburg County. You go over the Catawba River and you're in Gastonia County.
You know all about this because you used to coach at Belmont Abbey, close to here, right?
Learned more at Belmont Abbey College than I did at most things in my life. It's a fine school, Benedictine priest. John Thompson, he started his coaching career at St. Anthony's High School. Spent 6 years there. He's disciplined, and he's, normally I found in my working with him that if you do what you say you're going to do, you'll get it done. But if you try to snow him or edge or inch, no chance. They'll take a long walk on a short pier.
You had a quote the other day that the falling of the scoreboard here was the closest you had to coming to a serious accident. When I was riding around to some of your old haunts with you in Charlotte, I had the same thought after you're driving. The closest I've ever come to a serious accident. It was fun. Coles on the breakaway. Coles, the leading scorer for the Olympic team with 9 first-half points. 2 minutes left. 35-34 the NBA. Perkins finally sails it out of bounds. They didn't come to help him.
All the way. No ref has to touch the ball. That's being John will like that.
Heads up play.
That's what we got to get used to. The other thing I'm upset with, and I think they should change it, these refs should be from second world countries that don't speak English. Now here comes the strip right down here. Now watch Shaw solo it in.
NBA calls a timeout with 1:41 left in the first half. Bimbo Coles is the leading scorer in the game so far. He's picked up 11 in the first half for the Olympic team on 4 of 7 shooting and also a couple of assists.
One of the hang-ups that John has with him, he's not vocal enough. He has to be more a holler guy because he wants him as a point guard. And the point guard has to almost be dictatorial out there.
He's a pretty good scorer, though. Are you looking for a scorer, point guard, or someone to distribute the ball to your other players?
More distributed. His outside shots are a little questionable. He can penetrate and score in transition.
Coles commits his second foul and gets a little shove from Mark Jackson for his efforts, and they exchange words.
And in comes the only upperclassman on this squad.
Number 16 is Charles Smith, the fourth of Georgetown.
The only
senior
one
there.
He's the only one that knows the system. Everybody else are freshmen.
You talked about a coach on the floor, and that must be what Thompson is expecting from his player, Charles Smith.
If he makes the team. Charles is a junior. He'll be back next year for his senior year in the Big East, the Big Beast.
36-35 U.S. team. They just don't look fluid on offense.
Hesitant. That's because of the half-court offense.
Smith, just off the bench, misses the long-range shot. Perkins has the rebound. David Robinson is back for the U.S. team. Jackson dishes to Lister, who lays it in. Pretty play by Mark Jackson, who led the NBA, was third in the NBA in assists last year. 37-36 inside the final minute of the first half.
He's one of the reasons the New York Knicks have turned it around, along with the new coach and obviously Patrick Ewing.
And Oakley coming next season.
Oakley, his rebounding and releasing of the pass down court for the fast break is maybe the best in the game.
Anderson misses. Jordan rebounds to Jackson. For Jordan. No good. Anderson collects the rebound for the Olympic team. Down to 25 seconds. Smith left it for Smith. And Charles Smith will go to the free throw line. Lister commits his first foul. Charles Smith, the fourth from Georgetown. C.D. Smith from Pittsburgh.
This is the time before when Jackson dished off to Lister. This is the next time. No, that's the time. Another angle on that. Obviously, 2 points down to send. A lot of people didn't think he'd be that strong in the NBA. Surprisingly, my brother Dick is the head scout at for the New York Knickerbockers, has been for about 15 years. And there was no general manager there at the time and no head coach, so he made the decision. So I like to pump my brother Dick's tires.
Big East Player of the Year a year ago at Pitt. Charles Smith, who had 12 points in the first game in Providence and only 1 point in 10 minutes here Friday.
He's more aggressive than I thought. I think people compare him a lot with Lane, who was his running mate when hardship this year, because Lane is so physical. But Charles Smith is a player, and we'll hear a lot from him. He was a third-round draft choice and ended up with the L.A. Clippers. He was drafted by Philadelphia.
In the final 10 seconds of the first half, Jordan tried to dish it to Shays. It bounced off him, and Jordan got a shot away as the horn sounds to end the first half of play. Well, ragged at times here in the first half, especially the offense, perhaps, of the Olympic team. But we played on even terms in Charlotte, North Carolina. At the end of the first half, the U.S. takes a 1-point lead, 38-37. At halftime in Charlotte, 38-37, the U.S. Olympic team leading the team of NBA All-Stars. And Al, in that first half, so many players coming in and out, it's hard to get a flow of the game, a feel for the game. Is it that way, too, for John Thompson over there?
Yeah, what John's trying to find out is that point guard position. That's so important. And the other thing he's trying to find out in his defense set at half court is to get out and don't allow the three-point shot. Because the Europeans and the South Americans especially Brazil, are outstanding at that shot.
Mentioning some of the other teams that the U.S. will face in Seoul, I know you were talking with Spud Webb of the Atlanta Hawks just before the game, who recently came back from the Soviet Union where the Atlanta Hawks played 3 games. What did he have to say about that trip?
He said that the Soviet team is extremely physical, can shoot from the outside. He said they're unbelievable shooters. He said you can strip them with the ball. He believes that United States, if they meet, will beat them because of John Thompson's pressure defense. But I believe that the European teams will handle that defense because that's all they're working on now.
You know, we had a chance in Rotterdam to see some of those Olympic teams from the European nations, and Yugoslavia's got a fine team as well as the Soviet Union.
Oh, they're tough. They got good size. They might have 2 ball players that right now could play in the NBA. I also like Spain. I thought Italy was better than Spain, but Spain beat them out.
So some of the teams the U.S. will be facing in Seoul when the Olympic Games begin just about 5 weeks from now. Well, the men's U.S. Olympic team is not the only basketball team that's been in action here in Charlotte. The U.S. women's basketball team has also played a couple of games against the women's team from Cuba. They played Friday night and this afternoon. An easy win for them in the first game. Friday night, the U.S. women steamrolled the Cuban team 119-58. This afternoon, the U.S. team made it a sweep by beating the Cuban team 96-78. So 2 wins for the U.S. women's team, and the U.S. team getting a little better game from the Cubans today after the Cubans had a little bit of a rest. So the U.S. team making it a sweep over the Cubans. And right now, Nancy Lieberman, who will be doing the color commentary for the women's games in Seoul, has the U.S. coach, Kay Yao. Nancy?
With me is Kay Yao. Kay, you had the opportunity now to play the Cuban basketball team twice. Do you feel the U.S. team is where you want them to be now?
Well, Nancy, I think that we're right on track. We're operating at a good pace, and the object for us is just to stay on that pace and to keep improving, and I am pleased with where we are right now.
What style of play can we expect from the United States team in Seoul?
I think defense is the #1 key for us. You can expect strong pressure, man-to-man defense, extended as much as we can up the court, and secondly, a strong transition game, really pushing the ball at every opportunity, and half-court offense, we hope for good player and ball movement.
Besides the Soviet Union, which we always know is a tough competitor for us, who are the other teams that might give us competition in Seoul?
Well, in my own personal opinion, I think the top 4 teams might be the USA, the Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, and China. But you have to know that Seoul, South Korea is going to be really strong playing on their home court, and the fact that they won the silver in '84.
And my last question, having Cheryl Miller released because of her knee injury, how is that going to affect the leadership on the team, and who will assume that role?
Well, I think that fortunately for this team, we have a lot of experienced players who have played on other Olympic teams, other top national teams, and I think we have a lot of people who can come together. Perhaps it won't be one, perhaps it'll just be several players who at varying times come to the front in that particular role. We have big shoes to fill right there, but I think we have some people, you know, who can make the adjustment and fill that role.
Well, we'll be looking for those people to do a fine job for us when we get to Seoul. Thank you, Kay Yao, for being with us, and good luck on your way, hopefully, to get the gold.
Thank you, Nick.
We'll be back in Charlotte in a minute.
Tom Hammond and Al McGuire in Charlotte, North Carolina, where at halftime, the U.S. Olympic team leading the NBA All-Stars 38-37. You see the halftime stats, and fairly even. The NBA team shooting a little better, but with 2 less field goals. Shooting better at the three-point line, 3 of 4. Each have shot 13 free throws, you see. More points in the paint. We thought that was a key stat for the NBA, as outside shooting is still a problem for the U.S. team. Michael Jordan leading the NBA squad with 10, and Bimbo Coles of Virginia Tech and the U.S. Olympic team, the top point getter in the game with 11. Leading rebounder in the first half was Willie Anderson of the U.S. team with 5 rebounds. David Thompson, North Carolina State, won a national championship. Still a favorite here.
Oh, he was a player. He could really sky. Sloan, I think, was the coach.
Norm Sloan?
Yeah, when he won the national championship.
1974, was that it?
I picked up 3 technical fouls in the first half in the championship game. I remember Maurice Lucas coming into the locker room after the game and says to me, "Well, coach, you blew that game." Maurice just retired after about 13, 14 years in the NBA. He's an assistant coach with Portland.
Danny Shays controls the second half tap for the NBA stars. They have Bogues, Barkley, Jordan, Mullen, and Shays in the game. Jordan can't hit. Shays off the offensive glass. David Robinson blocked it. And a foul call underneath. It's called on Coles. That'll be 3 fouls on Bimbo Coles, and the first foul on either team in the second half. Robinson, Manning, Coles, Anderson, and Hawkins on the floor for the U.S. Olympic team. Danny Shays of the Denver Nuggets misses the first free throw. 6'11", 245 pounds, had 11 points in the game here Friday. That's his first point of the game, and it ties it at 38 in the opening seconds of the second frame. We expect the 2 coaches to go with a more pat lineup here rather than so much substitution?
Yeah, I don't think there's as much substitution this year, and especially in the NBA. I think they want to stay close about the last 7 or 8 minutes and then go for the goal.
Mitch Richmond has suffered a slight ankle sprain after picking up 7 points in the first half. He won't play in the second half for the U.S. team. So Richmond out with a slight ankle sprain. Robinson is hammered by Shays as he goes for the basket. And he'll step to the line for 2. Danny Shays with his first personal foul. David Robinson, how do you assess his game, Al? Do you see a little rust in the bilges for the Navy officer?
Yes, obviously. You can't be sitting out there a year and a half playing against guys 6'1" in the Navy, you know, at Jacksonville Naval Base and so on and so forth. But his timing will come around. He's a finesse type player. He'll be an all-star in the NBA. He'll take San Antonio Spurs to the promised land, but I don't think at the present time there's any finals in the NBA for the San Antonio Spurs. That might be 4 or 5 years down the line.
39-38 for the Olympic team. They force the turnover and get it back in front court. Here's Willie Anderson at the point, guarded by Mullen. NBA man-to-man. They played some zone briefly in the first half. Anderson. Willie Anderson with his 6th point. He's a very versatile player that could be of great value to a team like this.
I don't think he can play point guard. He has many positions, but he's a little bit too tall for point guard. He doesn't have all the equipment like a Magic Johnson.
How about that point guard? Charles Barkley with a 3-point shot. His first field goal, he has 9 in the game. Tie game at 41. Inside, Robinson flashes it back to Anderson. Bogues almost got it away from Robinson. He recovers. Nice move. 7 points in the game for David Robinson. 6, I'll get it right in a minute. Barkley spins in, and Coles, reaching in, has committed his 4th foul.
Watch David Robinson get the inside position, picks the ball back up, comes in the back door from the left side, keeps his head up. He has the moves. There's another angle. Bogues annoys him, like everybody annoys, is the size and the quickness.
Charles Barkley at the free throw line. 10 points for Barkley as Cole's the first player in the game with 4 fouls.
So Michael.
Didn't quite get it.
What a nice play. You could see Michael sneaking along that baseline. He almost brought the crowd to their feet.
43-42 with 18 minutes left in Charlotte. Game 3 of 8 against NBA All-Stars. There's Coles. 13 in the game for Vernell Coles. 45-42, 3-point Olympic team lead.
A simple 2-3 high offensive set.
And Mullen turns it over. And here comes the Olympic team trying to add to that lead. A bucket here would give them their biggest advantage of the game. In the game Friday night, they trailed the entire game until the last 26 seconds. Pulled it out 81-80. Coles has had the hot hand. That one nothing but air, but Anderson saved it. Hawkins. That's a three-pointer. Hawkins now with 5. A 6-point lead is the biggest. Mullen. Shea's had a hand on it. Manning saves it. Coles. Hawkins. And in traffic, Hawkins gets it down and will go to the line.
I can't pick the 5th man, but looking at what I would call the starting 5, I can name 4, I believe, would be Robinson, Manning, probably Charles Smith, and Hawkins. But that point guard is the question mark.
Foul was on Chris Mullen. That's his 3rd personal foul, 2nd of the half against the NBA.
Nice head and shoulders fake. Got his body between the man and the ball.
Hawkins misses the free throw. And a rebounding foul. It's going to be on Lister of the NBA.
Lister says to 40, what do you mean? I'm telling you, Lister danced that guy out about 30 feet away from the basket.
There's Alton Lister, the 7-footer from the Supersonics.
Originally played for Milwaukee Bucks. Went over there with the Sigma deal.
Willie Anderson, guarded by Alex English. Anderson got around him. Dished it to Robinson, and Lister fouled him on the way down as Robinson was going for the jam.
Robinson has the moves. He just needs a little bit more body toughness. He does play a little soft, but that will come with maturity. Here he goes up. He just can't control people hanging on him yet. That will come in time.
You know, Willie Anderson has had a good game after being almost non-existent in the first 2. Making John Thompson's job a little tougher. John Thompson has until September 2nd to get down to 12 players. And they talk about alternates. In reality, there are no alternates. By September 2nd, midnight Seoul time, you have a team of 12. If anyone's injured after that, you're down to 11 because alternates cannot be added after that September 2nd deadline. Mark Jackson misses after the penetration. Barkley. Jordan is fouled.
You know, maybe inch for inch, pound for pound, potentially the greatest ball player that ever lived. For years, I've always said inch for inch, pound for pound, Oscar Robertson. The best ball player that ever lived, in my opinion. No contest. Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No contest. No one's not even in the same state.
That's 11 points for Michael Jordan. Did you have an inkling that he would be the great pro he has become when he was at North Carolina?
No, I knew he'd be good, but I didn't think that he'd be a franchise. At the present time, I think his shoe contract is up for negotiations, and the number that's floating around per year is close to $3 million a year to wear a pair of shoes.
Nice. David Robinson.
Great move, David. the strength there. He's so quick. He's like a ballerina in the sky.
Olympic team gradually pulling away here in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Great anticipation by Shaw, and then Jackson takes it back away.
The Thunder Man.
Jackson with a nifty pass as Barkley slams down his 11th point of the afternoon.
Shaw's miss made that a difference between an 11-point game and a 7-point game.
Anderson can't hit it. Robinson rebounded by Lister. Jordan's got the tongue out. Watch out. Robinson blocked it out of bounds.
Hey, you got to remember, Tom, you don't get $26 million for looking pretty. And wait 2 years to get it. Talk about pretty. There's a guy that gets it done.
Charles Barkley again. He's keeping the NBA in the game. It's 53-48. Brian Shaw, Manning. Barkley's guarding Manning. Outside shot, Hersey Hawkins. Rebounded by Barkley.
Barkley says, go, team, go. I'll bring it up. And I'll take the hole. Nice move by Manning that time.
No, but he's fouled.
He almost finalized it. Hersey, nice kickoff into Danny, but it wasn't finalized.
Mark Jackson commits the foul, his second.
Substitution for
And Sean Elliott makes his first appearance in the Olympic team lineup, and Elliott has been struggled, the All-American who will be a senior in Arizona. J.R. Reed is also back in for the U.S. team. Danny Manning looking. As you see Sean Elliott. Elliott is 6'8", All-American, Pac-10 Player of the Year, has not scored in 2 games thus far.
Well, the knee guard and the protection on his left leg, there's no need for it anymore, but it's like he said to me, like a security blanket. He's just comfortable when he has it on.
14:39 left in the game. We've got a timeout. The Olympic team opening up the margin on the NBA. Mark Jackson and Brian Shaw jockeying for position as the ball comes inbound to the NBA, trailing 55-48. 7-point lead for the U.S. Olympic team, who have led by as many as 9. 14.5 minutes left in this game from the Charlotte Coliseum. Charles Smith of Pittsburgh is in for the Olympic team. Jackson batted away and taken by Smith. Dan Majerle is also back in for the Olympians. Smith's open, short, and Jordan has it. Lister off. The good pass from Michael Jordan.
That's the second shot this game from three-point area by Charles Smith. I wonder if Coach Thompson wants him going out in three-point area.
And he's 0 for 4.
He's 6'10".
After that great game in Providence, struggled the last 2. Shaw from outside. Out of bounds and back to the U.S. Olympic team. A little later on, Al McGuire will give you his all-time Olympic squad, his all-star squad. That's a pretty tough assignment.
Well, I picked 6 guys on it. Curlin, I owe an apology to. He went to 2 Olympics, and Lucas from Ohio State. But I can only pick 6 guys. We'll come at after the next commercial. You'll see my all Olympic team.
As a unit, what do you rate as the best Olympic team?
I think Bobby Knight's team was out there in La La Land, out in L.A. They were the Oscar Robertson, Jerry West team was outstanding.
That's Dan Majerle with a three-pointer. 58-50, the Olympic team.
Why should one person have so much talent? I mean, everything is effortless. You know, it just gets it done.
Amazing, isn't it? Tried to get it away from Majerle and couldn't. Elliott looking for his first 2 of this series and still scoreless. Barkley flips it to Jackson. Lister. NBA sort of picking up the pace here.
Tighten it to 4 points. Got to score this time, USA.
Baseball note here, the Boston Red Sox defeated by the Detroit Tigers 18-6 at Fenway Park today, breaking that string of consecutive home victories with the Red Sox after 24 in a row. Smith, there's finally got one out off the front of the rim. It didn't look pretty, but his first in 5 attempts. Barkley for 3. Jackson back to Barkley. He missed right underneath. J.R. Reed. Elliott. The NBA's back on defense. Marley off the glass.
Nice move by Marley. Beautiful pass by J.R.
All out of bounds and back to the Olympic team. As Sam Perkins and Sleepy Floyd come back in for the NBA. John Thompson has seen his team go on top here, 62-54 as we take a break. The turnover. 11 minutes, 44 seconds left in the game from the Charlotte Coliseum. Here's Al's team. Adrian Dantley out of Notre Dame, the 76 Olympic team. Bill Bradley at 64 from Princeton.
Senator Bill, someday maybe a president.
Bill Russell, San Francisco, on the 56 Olympic team.
Put defense back into the game.
One of your all-time greats.
Oscar, inch for inch, pound for pound, outstanding. And Jerry from West Virginia. Obviously, he'd be there, MJ.
And Jeff Mullins, who is the coach of North Carolina Charlotte, the co-head coach of the NBA Stars today. He was an NBA All-Star himself, and after an All-American career at Duke, was on the 1964 U.S. Olympic team. Jeff could play some basketball as well.
14.
Nice ball movement.
Elliott threw it right to Perkins of the NBA.
Elliott was third in the John Wooden voting this year. First was Manning, second was Hawkins, and third was Elliott.
Number 3 is the personal foul on J.R. Reed. Elliott, though, has really struggled. Do you think he's in danger of being cut from this team? Many people see him as a possible player of the year next year, his senior year at Arizona, and he hasn't scored in 3 games now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. That's up to the staff and so on. I believe that he's versatile. He brings a lot to the party, and that he's a player. Obviously, he's a player.
Mark Jackson is a player. He got on the board for the NBA. 62-56, the Olympic team. Jump hook, a baby hook from J.R.
He's certainly a favorite down here in Charlotte, the Queen City of the South. 2 years at North Carolina.
Nice tap in by Lister.
In those 2 years, University of North Carolina has 59 wins and only 11 losses.
There was some debate that he might come out for the NBA draft this year, but decided to go back to North Carolina.
Well, not ready. He needs work on defense. Offensively, he can get it done. He has a man's body.
Dan Majerle. Lister got a piece of it. It's out of bounds to the NBA. And notice they don't take it out on the in-line. The only time they do that in international rules is after a made basket. Time remaining under 10 minutes. Shot missed by English. Here comes the U.S. Elliott still can't buy one. Clipping foul, I believe, on Marley. In the game Friday night, he was so hyper that Joe Forte, the official, said, settle down, or I'm going to have to settle you down.
Yep. Central Michigan, he's a chip, or we call a Chippewa. Who's another famous graduate of Central Michigan?
Dick Enberg.
That's right. That's right. I'm not sure, but I think their baseball stadium is named after him. That's where he started as announcer.
Sam Perkins. He's fouled underneath. What about the kid Marley? Has been generally a surprise, although they say the pro scouts were not surprised by his performance at the trials.
Oh, no, they don't do a thing on one game or two games. A lot of people say, oh, he was the MVP down in Portland. But Dan Majerle was the 14th draft choice in the first round by the Phoenix Suns. He averaged about 23 points a game and 10 boards. He led the Mid-American. Some of the teams in the Mid-American are Toledo and Ball State, where one of my coaches coached there, Rick Majerle, Eastern and Western Michigan. So, no, they're... these scouts on the NBA, there's no sleepers anymore. That's back when it was the Beatles and the Green Hornet.
Marley gone to the bench, as you see. Jeff Grayer is in to replace him. Grayer, number 20, 6'6", Iowa State grad. David Robinson. Grayer gets it back and got it down. Jeff Grayer wastes no time hitting the scoring column. Turnover by the NBA, and here comes the U.S. Olympic team. Crowd of 20,475 at the Coliseum today. That's the largest basketball crowd ever in the city of Charlotte.
Ooh, that was a nice move by Elliott that time. He changed hands up in the air, ended up putting it up with his right hand rather than his left.
And he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, let's see if he gets off his snide. Now watch this move here. He's going up with his left hand. Now he changes and puts it into his right.
That ball's on the way down, too, when Lister batted it.
Lister's up there around 6'11", 7 foot.
We're going to give the basket to Elliott on the goaltender. So that's his first field goal. He had been 0 for 7 in 3 games.
The shot's been good. They've been soft, but they haven't been dropping. And then you start tightening up and just slide downhill.
68-59, the U.S. Olympic team. 8:45 left.
That good move by the Olympic team.
Here come Willie Anderson. Grayer rattled it through.
Grayer has no soft spots. He's out of Iowa State. He's going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Manning.
Sleepy Floyd just held on to him. Ride that Bronx.
Manning playing with 4 personal fouls. Remember, we're allowing 6 in this game. Sleepy Floyd picks up the foul. That's 6 against the NBA in this half. There's Rick Barry on hand for the action today, an NBA great.
Every time I see Rick Barry, I think of the underhand foul shot.
The last.
Yeah, he was the
underhand shooter, wasn't he?
He was the last of the Caribou. Last Mohegan.
Returning for the NBA, number 10, John Lucas.
John Lucas back in for the NBA as Sean Elliott will pitch it inbounds. Grayer, Elliott, Anderson, Manning, and Robinson on the floor for the U.S. Olympic team.
See, they're not smooth yet.
Robinson got away from Lister, but put a big paw in there to knock the ball away, and the NBA has it. Jordan. We thought that the NBA might win this game. In fact, you said earlier you thought it was their best chance for a victory here, but look what the Olympic team has done, 70-59 at the moment.
No, it's only 11-point spread. You got the 3-point shot, and there's a little bit less than 8 minutes left, so there's time left. They've got to turn over a few and get some chippies down the other end. John's working hard.
John Lucas commits the foul, his first foul. And we'll take a timeout here. Clock shows 7:42. John Thompson's club cruising along. Some tough competition coming up for the U.S. team in Seoul. That Soviet Union team in the series against the Atlanta Hawks a few weeks ago. The Hawks had a couple of close victories, and then the Soviets beat them in the final game in Moscow.
Well, Tom, what happened? They won one by a point. They won one in overtime, and they lost the other game to the USSR team. But I don't think that we should be over there getting the USSR ready for the Olympics. I think that the NBA, and God bless them for doing what they're doing here in this country, and I think their commissioner is outstanding, Mr. Stern, but These games should be against, if the game happens to be in Boston, have the Boston NBA team play as a team with their coaches and everything. These all-star games, it's too much one-on-one. There's no team concept. There's no iron team. Basketball is a team game, and especially John Thompson's style of coaching. He's predominantly a defensive coach. His defense is his offense, but there are no stars in his system.
So you share the views of John Thompson that...
No, I think John Thompson shares my views. No, because he hasn't said anything about this. He said about Sabonis being taken care of by the Portland Trailblazers. I don't know if I agree with John on that. I think that, you know, the guy only had a broken Achilles heel or something like that. But
I didn't know you could break that.
Or snap or something.
John Lucas with the basket. The U.S. had been on a 10-1 run before the hoop by Lucas. Here's Anderson. Jordan reached in and slapped it away. NBA has it.
Nice move by Danny Manning. That's one of those guard moves in a 6'10" body.
Anderson is fouled by Perkins.
Good call by the ref. Sam Perkins bent over and caught a piece of him. That means he bent his arm over his body. Sam, when he was in college, he used to say, Sam, you made the pants too long or something like that. But he was always a quiet young man. And it's something to watch him mature. It's also to sit here and realize that everybody that we've watched today is or will be probably a millionaire. So there's no crop failures out there.
Willie Anderson with 8 points now in the game. And as we return to that theme of who will be the point guard on this club, it's interesting to note that no player for the U.S. team had more than 3 assists in any of the games. And Anderson and Coles with 3 each today. Off the backboard and out of bounds as Perkins tried to save it. It'll go to the Olympic team. Perkins just now getting up, and the Olympians already firing at the basket. And Elliott, maybe they'll get it on track now.
Sure. The reason when he got credit for the basket on the goaltender, then he relaxed. I mean, you're looking at a player. You don't become third in the voting for the best player in the country as being an also-ran. You're a thoroughbred.
Nice ball move. Manning got it.
Beautiful.
That was a textbook fast break.
Billy, if you're going to get this team to make a run, you better call a timeout and say it's time, because the clock is ticking and you're down 17.
Barkley is fouled by Manning. That's the 5th personal foul on Manning. Again, we're allowing 6 in this game, although international rules limit you to only 5. We got a timeout. The Olympic team in front of the NBA Stars, 78-61. Over 20,000 USA fans at the Charlotte Coliseum today. And as we look at the candidates for the 1988 U.S. Olympic team, it's ironic that perhaps we're also looking at the 1992 Olympic team. It might be Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and some of those if the rules are changed to allow NBA players to participate.
Well, it's, I don't think we really need professional players to win it. What I think we need is a different type of system to put a team together. I think it's something like the starting 6 guys on the NCAA championship team, and then the other 6 selected in the tryout camp. So you pick up 6 of the blue plate specials, and then I think you should set up the team a year ahead. That they get used to playing with international rules and so on and so forth.
So with tennis professionals and other professionals competing in the Olympics, you don't think NBA players should be allowed?
Oh, I don't care if they're allowed or not. I just think that we have so much talent as it is, and I think the NBA ball player coming off a long season of just straight 82 or 84 games in the regular season and the playoffs, that we're asking a little bit too much of them.
Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb are back into the game, trying to get the NBA back in it with 5.5 minutes left. It's 78-63, the Olympic team. There's the steal. Bogues to Jordan.
Hang time, 2.5 seconds.
16 points from Michael Jordan.
You know, Tom, any team in the NBA sent over as a group to Spain for the '92 Olympics would win in the cakewalk. Sent over as a team.
Manning gets it down and will go to the line. Here's that last basket by Michael Jordan.
Here comes the steal. And this is what fills arenas up throughout the world. Right there. Fly, fly, let me fly. The Condor.
One shot for Danny.
NBA most valuable player Michael Jordan.
2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. Violation. Any foul shot in international play must be taken in 5 seconds. So the next time we have a foul shot out here, I'll show you a violation.
Jordan double teamed. Oh!
Showtime. He's going to get a foul shot. Let's see if we can catch this now. When he touches the ball, well, he shoots kind of quickly anyway. Here he goes, up, hangs, on the way down, puts English on it. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Close to a violation. You're allowed an extra second. But
free throw rims out for Michael after hitting his first four at the line. 81-67. Clock shows 4:35.
nice patience. Let's work the clock. Spread it out.
Barkley on Manning's back going for the steal.
Didn't touch him. Charlie, you didn't touch him. I know you didn't touch him. You didn't. What do you want to win? 2 out of 3 falls? Superstars are unbelievable. The next foul that a superstar admits to will be the first.
All right, here's our timer, Al.
All right, here we go. Oh, he shot pretty quick last time, 8 seconds. Here we go. Hey, Chet, give him the ball. Oh.
Barkley goes out of the game, having committed his third foul. Perkins is back in. All right.
4, 3. Oh, we were close. The horn got him. Oh, the horn just got him. Let's speed it up this time, Danny. Coach Larry Brown says speed it up. Also out there in Clipperland where they're all dreaming about next year and the turnstile's going to be flicking away.
He was right on the money the both times there.
They also got Charles Smith coming, and they also got Hawkins coming along with Manning.
Muggsy Bogues will step to the charity stripe for the NBA stars. Foul committed by Bimbo Coles. That's his 5th foul.
Shooting for the NBA, number 11, Tyrone Bogues.
I want to tell you that I don't know if the uncles are giving all these names out here, but we got Bimbo and Muggsy and
Spud.
I feel well, Spud's okay. Spud is, but the other ones seem to be from my old neighborhood. We always used to call it. Everybody had a nickname in the old days.
What was your name?
Huh? Alfie.
Alfie.
Boy, hey you.
Coles got Robinson the ball, and he knew what to do with it.
Boy, I'm saying nice is more the pass by Coles than the dunk by Davis.
Jordan.
Oh, man. Oh. Wow, that's a highlight move. Bring out the film. No voice over this one. Just let him do it.
Jordan shoot 1.
22, his point total on the day. The fans around the world would love to see him in the Olympics. They might not like what the NBA stars would do to their teams, but they would be entertained. I think it's going to happen.
Oh, I think that they're going to allow pros to play. They practically do now. The only thing that makes an amateur and international play here is that you can sign contracts and so on, but as long as you haven't played an official game of the pro team.
Floyd off The steal by Jordan.
You can play in exhibition games, you can go to training camps, you can do everything. You can sign contracts, but you can't play in an official game. Once you put your name down on the roster for the official game, you are then a pro in the international world.
Coles penetrates. Nice move. I don't know if it was going to go down anyway, but it was slapped in, which is legal. They're going to give it to Coles. 15 in the game for Bimbo Coles. Floyd for three, not there. Spud Webb about had his head taken off by Willie Anderson.
Now they can clean the ball off this cylinder. I thought Sam Perkins was up to clear it off, but didn't get control of it and tapped it back in. That ball dancing around there, you're allowed to go get it. In NCAA play and NBA play, you're not allowed to put your hand inside the cylinder.
John Thompson takes a timeout with 3:13 left. And a $26 million contract. So a lot of wealthy young men on their way to the NBA after the games are over in Seoul. David Robinson signing a $26 million contract with the San Antonio Spurs.
You know, just to clean up some housekeeping, I still believe that the referees should be from foreign countries that don't speak English. We should
in this game today?
Yeah, in all the exhibition games. We should have one guy from Tibet and the other guy from Ethiopia or whatever. And because that's what you're going to face. Now, 40, the ref out there now, who's going to go to the NBA next year, he is a representative from the United States. He cannot ref a game that the United States plays in over in Seoul.
NBA on a run at the moment. Michael Jordan leading the charge. He's gotten 11 of the last 15 points for the NBA. Two free throws make it 87-76.
Billy Cunningham has a pressing team in there. Real quick club. Nice release to Robinson. Listed has got to come up and put pressure on him. Everybody must press if you're going to turn the team over. There's a double team.
Somehow Anderson got free. Smith and Robinson. 76, 2:48 left. Coles has just fouled out of the game. John Thompson loses the young man from Virginia Tech. That's 6 fouls.
And we're in the 1-and-1.
Coles fouls out of the game with 15 points. Top scorer for the Olympic team.
Congratulations, Kimbo. Did a great job. Everybody back at Plattsburgh, Virginia. Proud of you. I think he's only going into his junior year there, Virginia Tech.
Will be a junior. And was co-player of the year in the Metro last year with Fergus Ellison of Italy. He's also had 4 assists to go with his 15 points, and he's the first player to get more than 3 assists in any one game. So maybe John Thompson has found his point guard.
He's closer.
Anderson into front court.
Trying to create the turnover. They're gambling. Nice release. They want to work the clock down. The Olympic boys.
Shot clock down to 12 seconds. And they bring it back out with 8. Smith lost it. Here's Jordan.
Needs some three-point land.
Spud Webb got it.
There's a need from out there to get back in this game. Unbelievable defensive quickness up court. Broke it. Should end up with 2 here. Keep going, Smith. Nice move. Beautiful move.
High off the glass with Lister lurking there. First 2 for Charles Smith of Georgetown. 10-point lead for the Olympic team. A minute 45 on the clock. And Willie Anderson with the second foul. Excuse me.
Coach John Thompson's up. He did not like that call.
Last thing they want to do is commit a foul here.
He doesn't care if you like him or dislike him. He's going to do his job. He doesn't believe in being a matinee idol. He just gets his job done.
Do you think he's already put his stamp on the style of play of this team?
He has the stamp, but the team is nowhere near what it's going to be. And I just hope he has enough time to get it defensively as a team. I mean, his key defense is up court. What he wants to do, the Europeans and the South Americans cannot handle the ball. He wants to turn them over and end up with layups. He doesn't want to have to get into a half-court offensive ball game. That's why I said earlier, his defense is his offense.
Jordan misses the second free throw. He has 24, and that's the score with a minute 34 on the clock.
This is great what's happening right now. It's giving the Olympians time to spread out, to learn what their delay or their beat pattern is, work the clock down, try to put it up with 5 seconds left.
Bud Webb commits the foul. And Charles Smith at Georgetown. Charles Smith the fourth.
I, as a U.S. citizen and a basketball fan, would like to thank the NBA people for what they're doing. I kind of say what I think, and maybe that's why I work for NBC. NBC has never told me what to say and what not to say, and I still believe that the Hawks shouldn't have been over in USSR. I believe that we should have referees that don't speak English, but without the NBA doing what they do for our run to the gold, which we hope we get. Sacrifice of time.
There's Billy Cunningham, who has been the co-coach of the NBA Stars today, and I've been impressed with the Olympic team. Looks like they're progressing. They're getting better each time out, and that's what John Thompson has to be looking for.
But they still got a way to go. You know what? If we're fortunate, and if it happens that we meet USSR over there in Seoul, I believe it will be the largest audience for basketball game since Dr. Mason took 2 years ago. And now, will it happen? Nobody knows. If it does happen, what a game. What a game, baby. Wow. Because that USSR team is good, and this guy knows it. And this guy puts his reputation on the line. I wouldn't become an Olympic coach if you gave me $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, because your whole reputation depends on your winning. And if you win, you're supposed to win. Nice move, I think.
Anderson got a piece of the shot by Bogues. Manning didn't quite save it, and the NBA has it. If the U.S. and the Soviet Union meet in Seoul, it'll be in the middle round. They're each the top seed in their group, and in different groups. There are 6 games of preliminary play, and then the middle round begins.
Well, you got to watch our first game out there. I think it's on September 18th against Spain. Spain is extremely well coached, and it'll be a tip to what we're going to do over there through the month of September.
And don't forget the Yugoslavians. They're a tough team, and the U.S. could conceivably meet them in the middle round, too. After the preliminary games in Group A and Group B, they have the middle round.
Yeah, Puerto Rico will be dangerous and many touches. Canada is a problem, and so on and so forth. Over here, really, it's Yugoslavia and Puerto Rico, Soviet Union. The other 3 teams, nice to be around, pleased to be there, and something they'll remember and tell their grandchildren. On our end, we got Canada on our side that can be awfully annoying to us, and Brazil, of course, they got their confidence. They broke the 4-minute mile by beating us in the Pan Am Games in Indianapolis last year.
And Spain, the first game for the U.S. is the team they beat in '84 for the gold medal, right?
So in our pool, it's Canada, Brazil, and Spain. Forget about the China and Egypt.
Final seconds ticking down. Do you think the U.S. will win the gold?
I hope so. I really hope so. But we're on foreign turf. It's this defense that John has takes a while to teach, and we should win, but it'll be close. It'll be a white knuckle. It'll be a wire job. And I'm not playing wolf or crying wolf. I have nothing to gain by that. I'm just pleased to be part of the Olympics. We missed in Moscow. My wife and I were going to go over in 1980 and President Carter, because of Afghanistan and the grain embargo knocked us out. So let's hope that we get there and this September, and that's pretty much, you know, I'm winding down my basketball career. It's been a long career, and so it's kind of nice icing on the cake.
David Robinson had a big smile on his face before he shot that free throw, and he put it up, and it was an air ball.
Well, what happens is sometimes you just forget concentration. He should bottom this one out, so should concentrate. Up, see that? There's the play we talked about. That's legal. Thing bounced. Michael went up and kicked it out.
Spud Webb can't hit as the horn sounds, and John Thompson's U.S. Olympic team defeating a good team of NBA All-Stars by a final score of 95-84, as the U.S. team had its best outing to date against this team of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and other NBA stars. 95-84, the final score from Charlotte. This is Tom Hammond for Al McGuire saying, we'll see you in Seoul. Can this team go all the way?